everybody, welcome to Tarot Spinning. My name's Kathy and today we're doing a bit of a pick a card. So this one will be reading number 1. So going to have a bit of a spin and see which deck we're going to pick your readings going to be, which cards we're going to be using for your reading. So see what we land on. Let's have a go and see where we go. The mermaids. All right. Just going to find them. A few decks sitting here, hiding. Rightio. Let's see what we can find with the mermaid deck. What your cards are going to be about. Just reading anyway. So, just for something different. Then just do a bit of a set adjustment. Right. Now we'll see, we'll have another spin and see where we go over here. That card. Free Spirit. Let's go one more. It's sort of this way a bit more, but let's just do that. Okay, guys. You got Free Spirit, Mystery, and Communication. Okay. Well, Free Spirit's pretty easy to understand. It's being free-spirited, or you're going to be more free-spirited. Communication, well, the mystery and the communication, you can see that's where it's sort of right in the middle of being a bit mysterious, but you're only going to be communicating what you want to communicate. You're only going to put out what you want people to know. You're going to sort of close ranks a little bit there. You're going to make sure you're not an open book, and that's fair enough. Like I say, just going to move these because I'm going to put some tarot down here. So I'm just going to move these a little bit so I can make some room. Right. We'll dig in a bit deeper and see what this one's about with this bit of a mystery and communication and free spirit. But I get the distinct impression there with that mystery, the way she's looking, the look on her face, she's virtually looking back as if to say, you're not going to know, there's no way she's going to let you know everything. She's going to keep some things, something mysterious and hidden. And it's to do with communication, the way you're putting it out and who you're going to tell and what you're not going to tell. You're keeping your cards a bit close to your chest. So, on that note, cut this deck. And of course these guys flew out like they do. Only 2 of them. We've got the 6 of Pentacles and the Lovers. And whatever was on the bottom of the deck just sat there, so that's going out too. Okay. Bit of generosity given or received. And the Lovers. Now the mystery could be the communication, and the mystery could be to do with, just the first thing I thought is that you've met somebody and it's very new, but you're definitely not going to open yourself up and let them see too much. You're going to remain a bit of a mystery, which is fairly obvious with the way these cards are reading, but also being a general read. The 6 of Pentacles is money, or charity given or received. It's having excess or getting excess or having excess money. The Lovers also can mean a choice. It can mean like a choice of 2. And this is a passage away from difficulties, so it's moving away from a bit of a rougher time. You're moving into a different energy, or moving your thoughts into a different way, because the swords are the old thoughts. So being the 6 of Swords, so I'll flick a few more out and see. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. The old King of Swords has been out and about. For most of the reads lately, I hardly seem to get a read without this guy in it. So he's always coming in fairly strong, that sword energy there with that powerful mind. So Three of Pentacles, it's usually creativity, building something, decorating. It can be home improvements or decorations, or just learning a craft or perfecting, or, you know, virtually putting some energy into that craft. Being it's the Three of Pentacles, they're admiring his work there. He's done some work here, and there's some ladies there admiring the work. So whether that pertains to a bit of something you're creating or something you're starting to do, might be what the mysteriousness is you don't really want anyone to see what you're doing just yet, because you don't want to hear, you know, you don't want to hear the conversation about they're critiquing it, or they're going to tell you, oh, you should do it like this or do it like that. You want to do it your way, so you don't really want to hear that communication coming back. So the mystery about that is very easy to see that you keep that a bit hidden. Knight of Pentacles is the effort and the energy going towards it, and the energy pushing into it. So it's a bit slow moving, but it's also solid. You can see the way that the stance on that horse, it's a very solid energy that's sitting and coming into play, which still feels like it's to do with a project that you're moving towards. That project's moving forward and going through. And of course the King of Swords, he's just coming in as a bit of really strong will, really strong minded, like very, it's just the dog behind me. Sorry, I keep thinking, what's behind me? It's all right. He probably wants to go out, but he can wait a minute. Anyway, the King of Swords is, you're virtually going to stay fairly strong-willed with this situation. You're not going to break out of this communication and the mystery. You're not going to really let that be. You're not going to break the promise you've had to yourself about it. Then we got the Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, not the Knight. Then we got Death, which is looking at like a knight, but it was death. And then we got the Page of Swords. So the Nine of Pentacles, of course, is to do with a little bit of extra money, a bit of luxury, and a bit of money is a bit abundant. Things are coming around a little bit more round to your way. And Death is quite like the beginning of a new change or a new way. This dog. The Page of Swords. A bit of news and information coming in about the situation that you're actually going into and what's been happening in the background there with this bit of, I think, a new project you're starting or looking at doing, a side hustle maybe. Could be a side hustle that's going on. There's the Two of Pentacles on top of that Nine of Pentacles. Justice on Death. And the Two of Wands on the old Page of Swords. So again here, the Two of Pentacles, you're juggling the money here, but I don't see it being too big a juggle. I think you're just going to be just choosing where and what you spend it on and what you do with it. You're just going to be thinking about, if money hasn't been real flush, when you do get this bit of extra money, you're going to be a little bit careful with how you're going to disperse it. You're not going to just be splashing it around too silly. Justice is just, it's balancing out back to that energy of that Nine of Pentacles. It's just justice is being served, in the sense of that if you have been putting in a lot of energy and not getting a lot of movement going forward, now it's time that it's actually going to come up. The scales are going to balance out. It's going to go back more in your way. And then the Two of Wands, well, it's a win-win situation. So it's standing there and you're virtually looking, got the world in your hand, and now you're going to sit there and you're going to work out where and what you're going to do. And you did it your way, which is what that always comes back to with that communication and mystery, is that you were your own counsel. You didn't have no communication with other people to get anyone else's word on it. You did it how you saw it. And you backed yourself. You stood there and you backed yourself and got yourself through and got yourself into this position through your own means. Nobody really give you much of a hand with it, but it's the way you wanted to do it, so that's how that worked out. Anyway, I'm going to pull these off because I have to put the Making Magic there, so just going to sneak these cards off. And we'll get a few more, just a little bit of a last word from Spirit to see what they've got to say about this reading and this situation that's unfolding. Way too many flipped. I can't have those just yet. But that one I'm going to have. Oh, and that one too. Okay, I'm going to pop them round. And somewhere here, yeah, I saw another one jump and turned itself over. Just checking, there's no more. Okay, just give that a quick cut. Because it's, the shuffling lately has been a bit of a mess, but oh well, just must be how it's meant to go. So now we'll see what we've got. Looks like those two. Seeing it's in the middle. Successful career. A happy working environment, pay rises and promotions. So this is this project or this, it might not just be creativity in a project. You could actually be working in your workplace, putting in some extra effort, and it's going to get noticed. Things are going to go, you know, all the energy you've put in and all the effort and all that willpower you've used, you know, there could have been a reason why you weren't communicating was because people around you in a workplace, yeah, you know, it's a bit like the sheepdog on the sheep's head. They like to run across the top of the sheep's head instead of working their way there themselves. They sort of want to, you know, take your idea and show it to the boss and then get the accolade for it. But you'll do this and you'll win. Because of course, that's just confirming it there. Happy working environment, pay rises and promotions. So you can take that to a positive. And the Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Well, that was, again, we sort of talked about that there with that. The making the good choices in life. This was because you backed yourself and you did it your way and you didn't pay. You didn't actually sit down and say, oh, what do you reckon? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You didn't do any of that. You just stayed with your own intuition and your own gut hunches and your own guidance virtually, and you did it your way, and you're gonna be a winner because you actually backed yourself. So again, great reading, number one reading. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time. So going on to reading 2. Bye for now. Hi reading 2, welcome to your reading. So got all the decks here, going to give them a bit of a spin and see which deck you need a message from today. Round and round she goes. Oh. I'm just going to go with this. It's just hanging on there. So we're going to go with the Moonology cards. I shall just grab them. Would be them. And we shall see what the message is for you guys for reading 2. Reading 2, please. Reading 2. We'd like what message reading 2 would like to hear. So right. Now, just to change it up a bit more. We're going to spin and see now which card we get. So another layer again. That one. If I can pick it up, I'll be right. And we'll go one more. I'll pull one off the top of this deck if we do go back onto a spare space. Okay guys, a time for healing, ballistic moon, and step out of your comfort zone, the North Node. Ooh, okay. So, time for healing. Well, that's been, you know, pretty easy to see that time for healing would be, you know, looking out to see what, I suppose, what do you need in the way of healing. It depends on who and what is going on in your situation, but healing can be a lot of things. It can be from getting treatments to generally just getting over maybe a bad situation that's been bugging you for quite some time. But being it's paired up with stepping out of your comfort zone, North Node, it would be, of course, healing the bit of the past, because the North Node is going into a direction where it's not comfortable to go there. That's why you're stepping out of the comfort zone. South Node is past life or past lives that you've actually, you know, conquered whatever, depending what your North and South Nodes sit in. It's all back to astrology, so you'd have to go and look up your astrology and see where your North and South Nodes sit in on your birth chart. But your South's lifetimes before that, you've actually been very comfortable and very, you know, very good in that energy, and your North Node is the opposite. So you're to move into the North Node, which is what part of this trip that we're here for this time round, as you do most times, is to move into that North Node energy a bit. And it's not comfortable to do because it feels you want to go back into the South Node because it's comfortable. The North Node's foreign. So anyway, we'll pull out some cards and see what else we can find out about this situation. Okay. Bit of the LisaParker tarot deck. Oh. Just going to lift these couple of boxes up just so I've got a bit more room there to go, and put some down here. So yes, North Node, I can relate. North Node is always, it just doesn't feel right because it's an unfamiliar energy that you've got to virtually going to challenge yourself. Okay, we've got some cards up the wrong way here. Just quickly check there's no more. Oh, maybe that one. Okay, we're putting these up because they all jumped out, or they all flipped out some which way. Okay. Just going a bit of a guess there. I'm guessing this is going to be right, seeing the Seven of Swords. Excuse me. Seven of Swords. Okay, well that Seven of Swords energy is to do with, sort of usually to do with a bit of a theft, and it's usually theft of time, energy. It can be a theft of an idea, or it can be a theft of actual, like an actual possession from you, but in this situation I'd say it's more to do with energy and probably feeling drained because it's the time for healing, so you're needing to sort out that bit of that mental energy that's making you feel a bit funky sort of thing, because if you're trying to step into this North Node, it's a challenge. You're going to be challenging yourself. So here's the bit of balance. So that's what, asking for that bit of balance to come in, which is the Temperance card. I didn't even tell you. Seven of Swords, Temperance, Justice, and the Ace of Swords. So the balance would be to get yourself a bit more balanced and get a little bit better with your mental side. It's just a little bit out of whack. Then you have the Justice card coming here with the Ace of Swords. So it's just a bit, again, it's because the Justice has got the scales on it as well. So again, it's coming back into that balance. And a little bit of new way of thinking. So changing the way you're thinking and moving into a little bit of a different thought pattern. Everyone will find their own way. If you ask for some guidance, you'll get, you know, pretty well get a bit of an inkling which way to go to help get some healing. And you could go a lot of different ways depending on, you know, whatever floats your boat sort of thing. So healing could be a lot of things. It could be going for a bit of a break or a holiday or some time out, right through to getting some treatments, you know, Reikis, acupuncture, Bowen, you name it, could be anything. So depending what you're into, but, you know, that might just help pull you out of that bit of energy, because that north node, you're challenging yourself, and then you're also one step forward, 3 steps back sort of vibe. So anyway, we'll pull a few more cards and see what else we can find. 2 of Swords, 3 of Cups. Now, I don't even know if I cut this deck, so I'm going to have to just go on now. Once I start pulling them, I can't stop. So I'm just thinking, oh, I think I've gotten a bit carried away with myself there and not cut the deck. But anyway, meant to be. 2 of Swords energy. Well, that is that, again, see, she's usually, it's usually a lady on the tarot deck, she's usually blindfolded with the scales, sitting in the ocean with all the rough ocean around behind her, sort of thing, like a storm's brewing. So this 2 of Swords, again, is to do with this balancing act that you guys are having to, it's inside, it's an inner thought. Your mind needs to be balanced a bit better. Your 3 of Cups, there's a little bit of a celebration or a little bit of an achievement. And the 2 of Wands is a bit of a win-win situation. So it looks like a bit of study. Because of those books being open there, I'd say you're going to have a bit of a win if you go and chase this up and do something to help heal or to help balance out. It's not really healing as much as it is balancing. So whatever you need to do to balance that up. If you do, I'd say you have a little bit of a win. And you can sort of an inner celebration there that you're going to feel really good, that you've given yourself some time and energy and it's important that you go and do this. Like, don't just put it on the back burner and find other things to keep yourself distracted. And there's a bit of study and a bit of looking into it all, which is really good. And then the Knight of Swords. So that's that super fast energy coming in, because you might have a bit of a breakthrough once you stop and give it some time. And you've been guided to hear this message. So to me, I think the spirit or your guide side of you is pushing for you to do this now, because there's going to be a breakthrough. You're going to have a bit of a breakthrough and have something, a block will be taken away or be pulled down. And we've got the 6 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. And Strength. Okay. 6 of Swords is a passage away from difficulty. So again, it's all this mental, see how it's all this sword energy, and they're all on top of each other here. So it just shows you that the up and down of this roller coaster ride, but you will succeed if you just keep pushing and do that little bit of study and put that energy in and put this into it's a priority that you need to go and get this sorted out now, not just, oh, I'm going to do it next month, next whenever. And then there's the 2 of Cups. So again, it comes back to you're quite content. You've come back and you're balanced and you're quite leveled back and quite happy with yourself. And I still feel with that 3 of Cups, you're toasting or you're quite happy with the situation and the way it's coming into play there. It's like you're really proud of where it's going. Now the 5 of Cups, that's moving out of this energy, is that energy where there feels like there's, usually there's 3 cups tipped over and 2 that are still up, and you're too busy looking at the 3 that have spilt. But I feel that energy is pushing back behind, or there is a small little hiccup there that something else pops up when you're doing this study. But you have got the Strength card here. So the Strength card's just sort of saying that the strength is going to be there to overcome any of that. If there's any slight bit of an emotional problem there, the Strength card's going to play out there and come back into play to say that you can move mountains. You're going to have no problems moving through it or moving past any of that energy that's there. And this also, I keep getting a feeling there's a partner or a best friend that they're going to help you a bit if they see you struggling in any way or see you getting a little bit caught in something. They're going to step in and help out. That's what that 2 of Cups is coming back at. Just going to pull a couple more cards with a different deck and just see what we can get with just a little bit of a quick overlay to see. Just feel like I need to grab this and have a little look. Okay, now this one, pretty sure I didn't do it with that last one. I'll check when I look at the video. But I didn't cut it. There's your strength. So again, confirmation of that strength. The Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So there you go, guys. I'm not going to keep pulling them, but I just wanted to have a quick look. I'm just grabbing these off too because I need to put my Making Magic there. That strength card is just virtually saying that you can do it. If you get it, if you hit the obstacle and you get a bit fearful, just always remember that lion and that strength, because that's what's within you, is that strength. So always remember that's there when you hit, if there's any obstacle that comes up going into that North Node energy. Knight of Cups, it's quite, it's a celebration. You can see these flying now with the cup with all the heart bubbles coming out of it. You're actually you end up being quite proud of yourself because you've taken that on and you're going to conquer it. And you're going to move through it a fair bit faster than you think. It's not going to take forever. And once you step up and sort of face it, it's going to come on really fast, because that's that Eight of Wands. Sorry, I didn't tell you what it was. The Eight of Wands is fast-moving energy, and it's going to come through fairly quickly. And that's the Wands are action, so you're going to move through it pretty quickly. And I think it all just comes back to, if you've picked this reading too, if this was a message from Spirit to say, now's the time, guys, to step up and have a go at starting to move into a bit of that North Node energy, because of course it's challenging, and that's why people a lot of the time actually give it a bit of a miss, because you know, not everyone likes to do some of the harder work, so to speak. I'm going to leave that one there to have a look at, because I'm not even going to put it up. It jumped out for a reason. So I'm just going to sort of push things around here. But let's just get one of these Making Magics and see the final word from Spirit. That one. So we've got the Star. Here's my dog coming back in. It's always sneaking around there somewhere. The silver energy of the Star brings good luck and serendipity. So that's that positive feeling that, you know, quite proud and happy of yourself because you've gone and stepped in and faced something that you were a little bit worried about. And Trinket 5, manifesting money and income. Well, hey, that's just going to be a bonus. Maybe there's a bit of a payoff here for stepping up and having a go, that you might end up a bit of this energy moves into that direction, and maybe there's a little bit of that manifesting money and income's a bit of a positive for the work you've done, the inner work, because this is all to do with inner work, of course. Another great reading 2. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to get sorted out and get on to reading 3. So thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye for now. Thank you. Hi guys, reading 3. This is for reading 3. So I've got some decks here, and I'm going to have a bit of a spin, and we'll see which deck you have to get a message from. Round and round. Okay, it is the MildredPayne Oracle of the Black Enchantment. I actually like this deck's a bit creepy. Don't cue the creepy music, haha. Only thing that's slightly annoying is it's sorry, something on here. Just get that off my table. There you go. A bit of fluff. It's a bit tricky to shuffle, so we shall just go nice and easy and shuffle something for reading 3 and see what we get. Oh, sorry. Way too many there. It wasn't even a couple. There was like half the deck on the table. Okay. Concentrating. Even, yeah. Focus, focus, focus. Reading 3, people. We have a message for reading 3, please. What they need to hear. That's what we did last time. It'll be a bit trickier with this one because this deck's just so big. So you can see which section they're in. There we go. Okay, guys. Reading 3, please. This one. Okay. Card number 34. And I do have to have a quick look. The Falling Woman, it's called. It's a time to let go and trust, regardless of a seemingly hopeless situation, accepting that which you cannot control. So, why not, just to make it a bit more tricky, let's go for another one as well. You know, like to make it a bit difficult there. Okay, 29. It is levitation. The ability to transcend limitations, a miracle, hidden skills revealed, rising above the crowd. So I would say, very much so. One's virtually answering the other, but your 34 is a time to let go and trust, regardless of a seemingly hopeless situation, accepting that which you cannot control. So things have become out of your control, and you can't control what's coming in and what's happening. And there's 29, which to me is just even those two cards just on their own is just fairly good situation, because it's the ability to transcend the limitation, and it's a miracle, hidden skills revealed, and rising above the crowd. So straight away, guys, you've got to sort of look at that from that perspective of, I'll just put these over here to get them out of the way. What virtually is happening there, that you're falling, losing control, and you seem to be having to just let go and let it release it. But here, I think once you've actually let go and release it, you know, you're going to rise back up, and you're going to rise up probably a little bit bigger and stronger than you did before, because at the end of the day, what you've held on to and what you've tried to make work and what you've pushed and put all that energy into, and the willpower was pushing it all the time to get that to work. As soon as you drop it, just let it go. As soon as you drop it, you're just going to become light as air, and you're going to rise up, and it, like they're even saying in the write-up for it, like it's a miracle of rising above the crowd. So you're going to actually lift yourself back up. Your energy is going to lift right up, and you're just going to transcend straight over this situation. So we'll pull some tarot and just see what else we've got to say about that. Just looking for the right deck. And we'll have to go the little moon cards because I like them. Okay. Reading 3. Please. Reading 3. Any more messages for reading 3? Let's see what we can get to come. Now this one I'll remember to cut. I think last read I got that carried away. I forgot to cut the deck, but anyway. Bit of the old meant to be routine, I think. Okay, let's get these first. It's the Chariot, the 8 of Cups, the King of Swords, which again, this King of Swords, he just keeps coming out at the moment. He's just on the mission, the King of Swords is, for these readings at the moment. He's just, everywhere I turn, he's in virtually every reading I've done lately. So again, there's the Chariot, which is great to see, the 8 of Cups, King of Swords, and the Moon. So of course the Chariot's just speaking about moving in the new path and the new energy and pushing into the new situation. So you're dropping this and letting it go. And it's going to be taken out of your control. You can't actually stop what's going to happen. And what it comes back to in this situation, because it's a general read, you'll know what it's actually talking about. And it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a situation with family or friends that you're trying to fix or make better, And no matter what you do, things just aren't working. So as soon as you just drop your energy and pull your energy back and pull away from it, things are just going to change. And I think, you're going to be shown in one way or another how things are going to play out and what they're going to do. But you're going to end up rising above it all. And you're going to be looking at it from a whole different viewpoint, because once you rise up and look down, everything looks different. If you're standing around looking at something, as soon as you float up in the air and look down on something, it's a completely different aspect to it. And that's the feeling that's giving me. And there's the Chariot saying that you are moving away. You're going to be pulling from that and moving into that. And there's walking away. Whatever this bit of heartache or this situation was that you were trying so hard, you really were putting in a lot of effort to try and fix it. You're just going to walk away now, and just like she's doing, the hands up going, no, I'm done. I'm out of here. The King of Swords in this aspect is definitely to do with the mental strength. The strength of the mind and the willpower to do it and to get through and to get out the other side. And the Moon, it's a bit of intuition. You're sort of feeling prompted, you're feeling guided, you're feeling like they're actually, there's the whisper in the ear saying to, it's time to let it go. Walk away, let it go. Just don't, and you're a bit fearful, so don't be fearful of it. It's going to be okay. There's the Knight of Wands. Turn it up the wrong way. The High Priestess. The Four of Swords. And of course the Ten of Swords. So of course the King of Wands, I might have said the Knight, but anyway, the King of Wands, it's just fast moving. The energy will move fast. As soon as you sort of get through this mental side, it's going to move fairly quickly and go, like, pick up the pace. The High Priestess here on top of that Eight of Cups, again, there's the intuition and the gut feeling that deep down. And I think there's just a little bit of this stubbornness here on some level. Not that I'm saying you're just being stubborn, but a little bit. You don't really want to let it go, because I think at the end of the day you've put in so much energy into trying to fix it or trying to make it happen or trying to make it work. You feel like it's a bit of a failure, but she's just saying that, the guidance is here, is there's a lesson to be learnt, and once you let this go, the lesson's coming after the fact, so you're not going to get to see, until this has actually moved through it, you're not going to get to feel what this is about. And this is the mental stress, so it's actually taking you out there a bit, where you're have to lie down and have a bit of a rest. And it's not really as physical as it is mental, because your brain, on top of that willpower, there's just too much effort going into this, trying to fix it and trying to find a way out of it. And here's the old Ten of Swords, so it is the ending, it's the finishing, it's the ending, so it's a 10, so it's getting to the point where its numerology side is that it's the end of the cycle, it's finished. And even though these thoughts are still all stabbing and all, shooting around, feeling a few little wounds poke here and there, it is definitely going to have to move to go into that other energy, so deep down that it's going to go that way. And then you've got the Page of Cups. Three of Wands, the Sun, and the Knight of Wands. So the energy goes into this a bit more, the Page of Cups is a bit more to do with the feelings, and a little bit more sort of spending a little bit more time with something that you like to do, some sort of hobby. There's something that you're sort of doing there, and it's a bit of a distraction to make you feel a bit better, because it's been was a bit rough, the situation there at one stage. Can't work out why have I got, oh no, I thought that was a fourth card, was the beginning of another card there. It's alright, I'm losing it, it's all good, don't worry about it, it's all right folks, go back. Sorry. It was playing a trick on me. I thought that was a moon card, and I thought that was the top of another card was there underneath. I thought, how did I get 4 on that one? But it's all good. It's a bit of a hobby. I feel that's a bit of a hobby, or it's a little bit of something you love to do, and you're going to go and do that, or going to go and look into that to just sort of, make yourself feel a bit better. And there's the expansion coming in there, where you're starting to look at how are things going to go and what's going to happen. Well, this is that expansion where you're going to move into that energy. And how it will play out in front of you, it's going to be a general read, so everyone's going to have it a different way. But you'll come to realise that it will be through the feeling body, not so much the mental and the feeling body. So that expansion is just that all this energy starting to come into play. And then here you are dancing around under the sun, and this has actually come to pass now. And you're just going to feel a bit freed up and lighter. All that hard energy up above you there is all going to be let go, and you're actually going to be a bit like they are, dancing around and enjoying yourself, because on some level you got through, you made your way through it and you conquered it. The Knight of Wands, he's just a bit of an omen. He's sort of a bit of fast-moving energy, and he's moving into the new direction. So he's starting to take that energy and starting to run with it. So he's starting to move forward with it. And just because I'd like to, I'm just going to get another deck. And just see if we can get any other double-ups, just to see if there's anything that they really want to confirm for this reading. So yeah, reading 3s. Let me get any more for reading 3, just to confirm what we saw. Reading 3, they're wanting to jump. I'll tell you, they're just, this is the deck that likes to jump. Oh, jeez. So reading 3, we're still going here. I'm just was going to get maybe one more if I could. And just before that first bit that flipped, which was quite a big lump of them, I did actually see that Sun card. So that was a bit of a chuckle. It was like, oh, here it is again. Might be all she wrote, guys. There's no more popping out. Or I'm just shuffling better. But anyway, I'll flick these up, what we've got here. 3 of Pentacles. So a good omen for see that craft, that's that creativity again on top of that. It's a page, wasn't it? Page of Cups, and there's that bit of creativity again. So there's a little bit of a hobby. I think there's something that you might start doing, or something that you're taking your fancy, and it's a little bit of something. It looks creative to me. There's a bit of a celebration coming in, and it's can be home improvements. It can be a wedding, engagement. Can be to do with the home, being it's the 4 of Wands, it can be to do with the home or the house. And this is to do with a bit of improvements too, so maybe there's something you're doing around the house. Or being a general read, it's something to do with being creative. And maybe there's a celebration or a party happening too, because that can all sort of go under the same banner. And then the Lovers. Now the Lovers is either you and somebody else have worked things out, because this is on that Sun card. So things have worked out and you've come to that, energy's come in and you've found your way through it. Or it can also depict a choice. And a choice can be one of 2 ways to go. You've got the 2 of Wands, which is on top of that Knight of Wands, it's a win-win situation. You've got the world in your hand, and you know, the world's your oyster a bit there. It's that sort of feeling where you're sort of standing there quite accomplished. So I'd say this energy's come into play. Then you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is to do with usually a bit of news and information, a bit of moving into something to do with money, or something to do with having or savings towards something to do with some money. And there's the Knight of Pentacles and your Strength. So yeah, again, I'll finish it there, guys, with that. Just grab these off, because I'm going to put the Making Magic out there. But yeah, at the end of the day, this moving in and this change with a bit of money or career or an idea, yeah, again, it sort of plays into that feeling of, you know, maybe it's to do with that letting that thing go, moving into this other direction. It's going to end up, this might be what the the different viewpoint is getting that perspective changed on your career or where you're living, because you've got that house improvement or that house situation there. But of course there's the strength card, so at the end of the day, to finish it out, the strength just coming in to say that if once you get through and come into that energy, it's, you know, you've got the strength to do it, and the strength is there for you to make your way through and get out to the other side. And it's a bit of a omen at the end to say that you're going to be able to do it and get through it unscathed. So anyway, we'll just pop some Making Magic out and get the last word, because I'm running out of time. But just pop these out. Okay. Let's see what we get. Perseverance. The motivation to keep going despite the odds. So there you go, guys. At the end of the day, that's the strength card, to persevere. So even though you didn't want to do this in the first place, if you do follow and go into it, you're going to come out. You're going to keep going despite the odds, and you're going to win. So thanks for popping in, and I hope you got something out of this reading 3. Bye for now.